We are demoing all of these hotel rooms and knocking the walls down between it and cleaning them out because they will be future classrooms, future offices. Main highlights of that is a full-size gymnasium, locker rooms, indoor training center. But then in the track up above the gym, there's going to be classrooms. Well, the two really nice center classrooms in that building on the main floor are going to be a performing arts classroom and a band and choir classroom. This will be an 1,100 square foot room with 14-foot high ceilings and all the band storage and all the places for strings and orchestra and risers. And when you give kids quality stuff, you attract more of it. And as you grow a little bit, it allows your fine arts and those programs to continue to grow. I believe there is a lot of great jobs and great careers in VOTech, in military, and apprenticeships. And let me tell you about some of those I'm working on right now. This location is so great. We are doing a partnership with WSU Tech. And WSU Tech is going to certify about 15 and then in the future up to 30 classes at Life Prep as college level courses. Those will be available for any 10th through 12th grader for no extra cost, and you will get college credit for them. And they will be not just the classic ones like welding and shop, but these will be classes in business entrepreneurship, in robotics, in computer science. What I don't agree with anymore is, a student going to a private school, getting a psychology degree with no plan after they get out, be burdened with $100,000 in student debt, come back home at 22, not find a job, and go work at Subway. I don't believe in that. But I was talking to Murphy Tractor here. He said, you know what? We're going to teach some of your WSU classes, and we're going to allow some of your students to intern with us in the summer. And if we find a good kid, we'll pay for their college to go learn, this tech school of how to operate on these big combines, these big, huge tractors. He said, this is not grease monkey work. He said, most of our technicians are using laptops and it's really high-end stuff. And these technicians he says, ones that have been there for 5-10 years, they're making $100,000 a year as a technician. There is a lot of great jobs that you can have besides the professional work. Now, we still have a lot of students. Life Prep, as a percentage, is sending more kids to engineering and math at the next level than any school in the state of Kansas. We are blessed because of our international student program. We have all these kids that can do these classes, and your students, if they get good grades and get pushed and come up, they will have opportunities to take upper level engineering, AP calculus, and really advanced computer science classes and robotics and 3D printing that we're adding when we move into this building. And so we're really excited about the future of the tech and those partnerships that we're going to be making. I want to keep it to where I know every single kid's name in the whole school, and I want to keep it that way, okay? So we want to make sure that this school stays a family environment, but we do want to have more opportunities and programs and things for kids. And when we get a little bigger, we get to have wrestling, we get to have track, we get to have an orchestra. And so we do plan to grow a little bit, but kind of slowly over time with quality. The board members of the school donated did all of our pledges up front. Me and my wife, we talked, we sacrificed, and honestly, inflation bit us in the butt last year. And we didn't have a whole bunch of extra money in savings to donate a large amount, and we wanted to. And so we pushed ourselves. I actually sold my car so I can downsize, so I would have the money to donate. And I gave God, please give me another Tesla one day. I really like that. For the elementary students, what they are going to get is they're going to get a great godly environment with amazing teachers. They're going to have an amazing new rooms here and great classrooms. There's classrooms next door. We'll have these big, massive closets where they'll have some of their centers in, and so we'll have two second grade classrooms sharing this center room. And as the school grows, we're going to have a beautiful, wonderful playground right through here. Amazing, nice, interactive, much better than we got now, with a nice field for the kids to play in and do their sports. We're going to be able to host our Christmas concerts and our fun nights and our family nights right here. We're going to be able to have great school spirit and camaraderie. We're going to continue to do things like these skate nights and these things to have more parents involved and family involved, because this is a family here at the school. The middle schoolers are absolutely under attack right now. I give tours all the time. I was given a tour just today of a family with a local middle schooler who feels unbelievably persecuted for their faith at their public school. And it is just sad to me that an 11-year-old has to go through that. And at Life Prep, we don't have all perfect kids, but you will never be persecuted for your faith. You will never be pressured or pushed into an alternate way of thinking or a different worldview. And as you know, the far left and that anti-Christian worldview has got a grasp on our kids. I told this story in the past, but I have a friend who's a principal at a local public school here, and he told me that more than a third of his students claim to be something other than heterosexual. And this is a middle school. So these are kids that many of them have not even fully gone through puberty yet, and that they're trying to accept their worldview, and a lot of them have a lot of them are being pushed that way. And by a very few teachers, not all, not the vast majority, but it only takes a couple people in a school going and proselytizing and trying to get people, and that is happening more and more. And at Life Prep, we are going to give that safe environment for those middle school kids to really, in those most important years, when they're becoming a teenager and they're going through all these emotions and hormones, and really when they're kind of shifting from their dad and mom being the only one they see and look up to all of a sudden they're having all these other adults and influences in their life that are feeding into them. Aren't you glad that it's going to be football coaches like Vincent Martin and the principals we have in the school and people like me and the teachers? We are going to absolutely treat your kids just like our own kids, and we're going to love them, and we're going to thank them, and we're going to breathe life into them, and we're going to keep them on the straight and narrow path for Jesus. My philosophy is to heavily shelter elementary, medium shelter middle school, and lightly shelter high school kids. And in our high school, our kids will have opportunities to play sports and clubs and activities and learn and get a great college prep curriculum and all this new partnership with WSU. And we already have a very, very high graduation rate. There's the biggest public school in Kansas is right here in Wichita, and they have about 650 freshmen, and they have about 400 high school seniors. So what does that mean to you? That means that like a third of all the kids are falling out between freshman year and senior year. And at Life Prep, I think that we've had 1 or 2 kids in the last 5 years that didn't graduate on time. We were small enough and we love the kids enough to where, they got to pull their weight, they got to do the work, they got to man up, but we help them, we support them. We're doing mental health counseling constantly. We're praying for kids, and we're doing everything we can to really to help our students and to be the best possible school we can. And you have a commitment from me. You have a commitment to keep this school affordable, to keep improving the quality, and to year after year listen to the feedback and advice of my customers and continue to make this school better. And that's what we're in. I see us in the customer service business. I see my job as an extension of you. And the morals and values and virtues that you teach your kid at home, I am trying to instill that in them at school as well. We're asking parents to either to consider what they can give and what they can do on either a 2, a 3, or a 4-year commitment, and really see what above the tuition you monthly could give, and also. The Kickstarter offering would be anything that you can kind of come up with in the next 30 days, like a one-time amount to really help us, because a lot of the expenses of a project this big are up front. A lot of the expenses are up front, and then it kind of evens out. So that's a little bit about how I'm doing it and how me and my wife chose to support the school.
You will not regret that you change the lives of not only your own children or grandchildren, who's ever represented the school, but kids to come for decades. Whatever you invest here is going to last for decades and decades and decades. And right now is an opportunity, a door of opportunity, because right now the world is going crazy.